Back in Philippians 1, I want to draw your attention this time to verses 15 through 18. Some indeed preach Christ from envy and rivalry, but others from goodwill. The latter do it out of love, knowing that I am put here for the defense of the gospel. The former proclaim Christ out of selfish ambition, not sincerely, but thinking to afflict me in my imprisonment. What then? Only that in every way, whether in pretense or in truth, Christ is proclaimed, and in that I rejoice. So here we see this theme again continuing Philippians of joy. And here Paul is rejoicing as the gospel is being preached outside of his prison. We've seen indications in the verses before that he's still able to preach in prison to the prison guards, to people maybe that come and visit. But here he's thanking God that the gospel is going forth outside the walls, around the world. And he speaks of people on one hand that are doing it from goodwill, out of love. Their rationale, I think, is because Paul is in there defending the gospel, we can do our part out here. But then he also talks about this other category, and this is what's kind of mind-boggling. Some preach out of envy and rivalry, some with selfish ambition, some not sincerely, even trying to afflict him while he's imprisoned. Paul still says that he rejoices in that. So here's how this challenges me. In this internet, social media world, and really in this pandemic, it's so easy at times to watch the news, to scroll through social media, and see the gospel proclaimed, but it's not always like we would want it to be, right? Maybe it's flavored with some bad politics or cultural things or imprecise doctrine, and sometimes it's easy to just judge and not rejoice in the slightest, right? If the method isn't what we want, if the motivation maybe seems suspect, we can judge, we can scorn and not rejoice. Paul here encourages us to take the opposite approach, and I think that's just a good reminder for us. The Word of God is powerful, the Word of God is active. We're not perfect messengers at all. Sometimes our methods are off, our motivations get skewed, right? That's us as well. The Word of God, the gospel of Jesus, they're powerful. And when we see the gospel go forth and it's not always what we want it to be, we can still find joy as Paul does here. And I pray that will encourage you today and this week.